After a full week at the NRVTA, which is the National RV Training Academy, proud to say Chris passed his solar class.
Yay! Yay! Honestly, I wasn't worried, although it's a great class, tests every day, and a final at the end. The best part is we got to install a full solar system on our fifth wheel.
Yeah, so big, huge shout out to Renogy for sponsoring our solar. We appreciate you guys so much.
Don't forget our friends at Dayco.
Yep.
Renogy and Dayco really came through for us on this, so we've got an amazing Renogy system, and we're going to walk you through it and show what the last 5 days look like and how we're going to be able to go off-grid and live that boondocking life.
Yeah, the other part, too, that was pretty awesome is that this was part of the class project. They took, how many coaches?
3 of them in this class.
Yeah, so out of the 3 coaches, they split up into teams, and we had some students work on our rig with Chris.
Yep, I was a student and the owner, and I got to work on our own rig, which is cool. And then on the other hand, while we were in class, we got to go around and look at the other 2 installs, which were completely different. They had a small travel trailer that did an amazing job on for a Victron system, and then they had a monstrous toy hauler that they did 2 Quattros and 2,400 amp hours of battery and 4,300 watts of solar. Damn, that was an impressive trailer for sure.
Yeah, and the big thing about it, why I'm giving them props, one, it's RV community, and they're all learning, and it was great to have all the class participate.
Yep, and we got autographs from everybody on it, and we're going to have an autograph board on our trailer showing, everybody that built this system because it took a team. Yeah. All right, let's go on a tour, guys.
Let's do it.
What's going on, y'all? Day 1 at the National RV Training Academy. I want to walk you through what a day in a life is for somebody coming in my case, for the solar class. So this is the classroom setup for solar. This is where I'm going to be spending my week. It's a good setup. Right here is where our instructors are usually at. Got a nice big TV set up with an Apple TV system that they broadcast with the iPad so they can draw and interact on it. They've got a nice grease erase board so that you can work on it if you have questions. They can walk you through any of the scenarios. Make sure that you're understanding all of the projects. They have demos set up for us to look at, and when they're talking about the different processes or what the batteries might be doing or how the Victron system works, they show that on the back. They just flip this around. You've got a full demo system set up with a single inverter, and then when they're talking through the parts, they can actually talk about what's this charge controller do, what's the solar controller do, why do we have an inverter, where do the batteries go, what's a shunt. All those things are explained to us to make our life easier and to make sure that we understand the fundamentals before we actually start touching somebody's trailer. The cool part is the bays are set up. You've got this beautiful Riverstone Legacy on this side, and on the opposite side, you've got Martha and I's Paradigm. And then in the back, we've got a travel trailer that they're doing a really nice Victron system on. So day 1 was spent working through 3 different locations. You have the classroom there, and then we broke off in groups for a small project to make sure we understood everything. This particular hallway, they have it all mapped out for the different types of configurations for solar panels, how the volts work, what the Watts law or Watts rules are, how the breakers are set up, why you have to have DC versus AC breakers, and then they talk about how to read the solar panel so when you're configuring the system that you don't screw anything up. And of course, there's lots of machine work because this is an industrial type setup. This is a nice setup. We were able to come over to this workstation, and then we got to look at 4 gauge and the MPV, difference between 10 and 12, how an MC4 connector works, all the tools that you need. So you get a hands-on demo on how to use everything before you actually start. So you get the foundation, then you work on other people's trailers. Then we came down to the inverter station, where we got to learn the difference between, why lithium, why it's better, how a smart shunt is set up, what this multi-plus 2 does, or in this case is a multi-plus 1, how the transfer switch works, heat shrink, the different wiring, the difference between, over crimping things versus not. The cool thing for us so far, or at least in my opinion, has been the availability of different types of product. So you can look at a lead acid battery, you can look at a gel battery, you can look at a lithium battery and understand the difference of why one may be better suited for one thing versus another. The instructors so far have done a great job of taking their time. They make sure they walk us through everything. They answer lots of questions. We have teachers' assistants for everything. So if the main instructor, who is Todd, is tied up doing something, we've got 2 other people that can help work through whatever our question is, and they help supervise the builds. This is the bay for where we're at with the Paradigm. Got a nice lift system to get on and off the roof. We got 50 amp power. We've got all kinds of tools, woodworking equipment, stands, jacks, whatever you could need in here, they have it. Plugs for days. Give you guys some insight in case you haven't seen this anywhere. This is the kitchen slash kind of break room. They have coffee going at all times. They've got microwaves, toaster ovens, normal, kitchen type stuff. You've got real ovens, big microwave over there. You've got a full snack bar, which they can charge to the campsite. Huge fridge stocked full of drinks. Most importantly, in the corner over here, they've got ice cream. So if you need to use the facilities during your lunch, you take a break, you're set. If you didn't bring anything, you've got frozen food, ice creams, like I said, lots. It's a very nice campus, very clean. This is one of the 4 different classes going on right now. So we've got an exterior class going on, we've got a solar class going on, a generator class going on, and something else that I think has to do with refrigeration. But this whole building on my left here, or your left, is all the different classrooms. If you guys need any water heaters, nailed it. If you need a furnace, got one. Got some ACs, got some of those down on the end. The best part about coming to a school like this is that you're immersed immediately in the RV world. They've got products, they've got generators, they've got trailers, you name it, they've got it. Everything from, fifth wheels to toy haulers to travel trailers, and they've got them in all different conditions so you can see, what you might be working on. The cool part is, like this one here that they're doing a solar on, they've got a lift, so you don't have to worry about climbing up and down the ladder. You don't have to worry about that. You have a lot of safety. So there's a lot of things in place that make our lives easier as students. The bathrooms are great. They've got gigantic fans. They have air conditioning. Good morning. It's day 2 of the NRVTA Advanced Solar class. Today we get to start builds. This is going to be an exciting day for us. Our coach is in the bay, which you can see here. We're inside the bay of Bay 1, and we're going to be putting on a Renogy Solar system on our trailer. The cool thing is the class gets to participate as a whole. The cool part about this class is not only do you learn the theory, which day 1 was, okay, this is the basics, here's what you need to know, here's how you stay safe, here's the items, here's how they all interact. So it's a very immersive experience, and then on day 2, you start the build, 3, 4, 5, same thing, work through the build. We'll keep you updated as it goes along. Coming into our main pass-through, we've already gutted it. So this is what it looks like behind your pass-through. The reason this is important is right up there is the back of your breaker panel. That's where all your power is. That's where everything runs to on your coach. So when you're working on a solar system, you have to be able to open everything up so that you have full access. One of the neat little features for my trailer is that right there, those black and red wires, that is a channel that the factory installed, so we have access from the roof right into our bay without having to poke any holes. On the front here where this light's at, we're going to be installing our charge controllers, and most of the system is actually going to go up here and the front pass-through, so it'll be some combination thereof. We'll try to record as much as we can. Super excited about this Renogy system. I think it's going to be a game changer for us. This is kind of our madness right now. So this is what day 2 looked like. That's the progress we've made. Day 3 should be a blast. On the roof, we decided to add one more panel. So we're working on mounting that right now. And so we're going to have a total of 9 panels on the roof. And then we're going to have 2 panels on the ground. So we're going to have 11 panels, 3 charge controllers, 2 inverters, massive Victron distribution center, 12 batteries. So we're going to be in good shape to go on that big trip that we're planning next year. We're also going to be able to utilize Harvest Host and Boondockers Welcome quite a bit more, which is what Martha and I are super excited about, because not having solar makes it a little more challenging. We can still do it, but we have to use generator, which, you know, quiet hours. Here we go, y'all. Day 3. Day 3 of my solar class at the NRVTA. I am stinking excited. It has been a freaking blast, and today, again, like all days, we come over and we start in the classroom, and you can see my commute is a brutal one. And that's it. I go from the bay over to my classroom. So when we come in first thing in the morning, we get started a little right at 8 o'clock, but we're always in here about 7:30, 7:45. We start here with the instructor, which in our case is Todd Hansen, and then he has 4 TAs or teacher aides, and they make sure that we understand everything. We go over a workbook for the day, what our plan might be, talk through any kind of learning points, make sure that everybody's completely comfortable with what's going on in class, and then we break and spend the next pretty much 6-7 hours working on the trailer, installing the solar system. Today's progress is going to be to get the rest of the solar system up, not fully functional, but at least mounted it in place so that we are starting the wiring on day 4. So this is the wiring diagram for the solar panels on our roof. I want to explain what we have. We're actually doing 4 320 watt panels. So they are going to be run into a combiner box. And the reason that we have volts and amps, or that's what those is associated with, is we're actually going to be running the system in what is called series parallel. So from the positive to the negative, positive to the negative, negative to a junction or a combiner box, same thing on the positive side. And what this is going to do is it's going to get our voltage where it needs to be based on our charge controller, and it's going to keep our amperage where it needs to be so that the system can run as efficiently as possible without going over on anything. On the 200 watt side, we've got 5 panels, so 3 running, and they're running series. So negative to positive, all the way through the line. Same thing going into a combiner box. And same thing, we check our volts, we check our amps, and we're making sure that we stay within the ranges to keep everything safe and make sure our charge controller is doing everything it can and giving us some margin of error in case we do get a whole lot of sun and go over on our power. This is our system. So we're going to have one of the charge controllers for the 320s, one for the 200 watts, and then we've got another charge controller, which we'll show in there, that goes for the deployables. But this is an example of what we do when we work through our system. We make sure that all the numbers matter, or that all the numbers match, and that everybody agrees on what the process is. Then we take a picture of this so that the installers know exactly what we're doing when we go up on the roof or we're going in the bay. So this is day 3, y'all. Wiring, lots and lots of wiring. So the progress that we made on day 3 on our distribution center, we started doing the wiring. We're using 4/0 cable, and we did our chassis ground, which is this one right here. That's running through to the front bay. We've got all of our combiner boxes done in here. So I'll go around and show you that. And we just started making the rest of the ground cables coming off the batteries. We've got our battery bank in and set in place. We put some angle aluminum that, thank you, Martha, for going and getting. We've got 2 MPPT Renogy 150 by 60 amp. And as you can see, the chassis ground is there in the back. So we're making good progress on the battery bank. Now coming around to the side, you'll see up here, we've got our breaker box and a splitter. So those are 6/4 cables coming out, running across, and going into our 3,000 watt inverters right now. They're not in yet. That's part of what we're going to do tomorrow. We're using Blue Sea battery switches. So we're going to have 4 of those because we're going to be running 4 sets of 3 to keep our amp hours at 300 amp hours per battery switch, so that we'll have cutoffs. And ultimately, we're going to have to install the Renogy communication port and BT1 Bluetooth, so we're going to be able to see that. So today was quite a bit of progress. Tomorrow, keep you posted and show you where it goes. Here we go again, day 4. Time to go play, see what we can learn. It's hard to call it class. Gotta wave to Martha as you're heading out. And that was the extent of it. I'm in class. Hell of a commute, huh? Well, day 4, like every day, is going to start here in the classroom. We are going to be going over some lesson plans, go through some worksheets, make sure we have a good build plan, and continue with the install. That's really where we're at this point, is the 4th day of class, but the 3rd day of our install. Show you what we've been working on. Day 4, let's check the progress. Got a nice little light switch here that we installed for the LED lights. Quite happy with that. We got some strips off of Amazon and installed those. We had to do that because we removed the factory lights. There was one in each corner of the trailer that had motion, and of course, as you can tell, he got 2 big old inverters and a charge controller in the way of where it used to be. We managed to get 4 of the battery disconnects installed. We've got most of the wiring done on the distribution block. We cut a 4-inch hole on this side. We're going to have a electric fan here, so it'll be an exhaust fan. We've got our battery bank all wired up. So we've got 12 batteries run in series of 3. So we've got 4 banks. That's why we had 4 disconnects. We put in a Victron battery detector, and we've wired up one of the Renogy 60 amp MPPTs. We've still got another one to go, and the batteries need to be tied down. This beautiful nightmare up here is the back of our breaker panel box, and as you can see on the wall on the left here, we've got some black wires. We ran 2 remote controls into the inside of the RV. We also ran the Bluetooth module over here. That way we can get access to all of our system while we're inside. We don't actually have to do anything. Let me show you here. Look at who greeted me. Hello, pretty girl. Hello. Say hi to our friends. Say hi to the community. Say hi. So this is the other side of the breaker panel box I just showed you. These are the Renogy remote controls for the 3,000 watt inverters. We put 2 of them in place, and of course this is just the factory RVCO2. We don't have to worry about that. But those are there. The Bluetooth's there. We're moving along. Getting pretty excited. Say bye-bye, Callie. Hello! Elevator going up. All right, our solar panels are done. Woo! Major project down. So, on the roof, we've got 5 200-watt panels. We've got 4 320-watt panels. All the wiring's done, covered, taped down. I'm really, really happy with the way this turned out. This was a couple-day project just to make sure that everything was run correctly, doing voltage tests, making sure our lines weren't crossed. There's a lot that goes into making solar panels on the roof work the way they're supposed to. One of the things I definitely appreciate about the NRVTA is that they go to really far lengths to make sure that we are safe as students, that we're well educated, and that we're prepared to tackle whatever we're doing. And then they have a teacher's assistant associated with each build, plus you have Todd Henson, who of course is the master professor / extraordinaire of all things, and he's the director of education here. He supervises all the builds to make sure that we're all doing the right things. And it's cool because we can go to him, our TAs can go to him to ensure that any questions we have or weird thoughts we may want to do, or if we want to go off the rails and do something fun and crazy, we run it by the boss to make sure that it's okay and it's not going to violate any codes or safety regulations.
All right, so the guys are all done putting the solar in our rig, and now the fun part. Putting everything back in the bay.
Slide? Yeah. Okay, that should be good.
All right, now here comes the wife's opinion. This was a great opportunity for Chris and I to reorganize our bay. We did have to move our Morai tray over. I forget how far over, but we didn't lose that much space. I'm really excited about the new solar system. I told Chris I just need to make sure when we're boondocking, I can have some hot water for a shower and make my coffee. I'm really happy with how it's organized. I love how the front bay with the batteries turned out with the Lego blocks. Yeah, everything's well organized and everything's easy to get to. And these Morai trays, let me tell you, they're amazing. Chris and his classmates did a wonderful job. Everything was supervised by Todd. So they did a great job. All right, so what do you guys think? Pretty awesome solar system?
I'm pretty impressed with it. I'll tell you, it's been 7 great days, 5 days of class. I can't even count how many hours we spent working on this system. Big thanks to the NRVTA, DACO, and Renogy. This is a dream come true. I loved the class. It was worth every dollar that we spent for sure.
It is. We had a great time, and it was great to see behind the scenes how they built out these solar systems, and just everyone enjoyed themselves.
It's pretty damn awesome. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Other than that, have a wonderful day and enjoy every moment.